welcome back to Chapters Create Character. Who's ready to read some books today? I know I am. My name is Legend Moore, and I'll be reading chapter 21 of A Whale of the Wild. Enjoy the video. Bye.
Chapter 21. Homeward. Deneb, we are going home. Home? Deneb looks up at me. I'm ready, he says. Once he would have leaped and splashed and swum circles around me. Now he slips into place in my swim shadow and waits for me to lead him. The sun rises, marking the way home. I study the roll of the waves and the press of the currents. This way, I say firmly, turning coldward and angling toward the sunrise. I do not know how long it will take, or even if we are strong enough to make it all the way back. Days and days with nearly nothing to eat. And my head, my whole body aches. But there is no food with us in the blue wilderness. And the truth of it all, the part I cannot bear to tell my brother, is that there might not be food for us at home either. But I will not let him sink out here in the wild, far from the Salish Sea and the bones of our ancestors. I will bring him home. I will scour the sea to feed him. And if there is nothing left, I will guard him until his last breath. We will travel all day and all through the night, fighting the current the whole time. The ocean feels empty without the vanished ones, the gray birds, more wing than body, soar above us. They hold their wings steady, tilting one side and another and the other as the wind carries them. I wish the water was as easy as the air, but their company encourages me. Deneb and I stop twice to doze, weak as he is from the shark bite. He still keeps to my side without one chirp of complaint. We keep heading toward the rising sun in the morning. In the heat of the day, we rest and let the sun warm us. We swim again as the water cools, turning our flukes to the setting sun. I hope for a clear night so I can find the moon. For the last 2 nights, the moon has been half full, all the light I need. Great Mother calls the sun and the moon her older sisters. I am grateful for their light. I am not wise enough to find my way back by currents alone, as Great Mother does on foggy days. So I watch for the moon and the rising sun. I hope for clear skies, and I choose the way as best as I can. Late on our 3rd day, the sea bottom begins to slope upward. We find a flatfish hiding in the mud. It is a little more than a mouthful once we each take our share. I try to give Deneb the whole fish, but he just as stubbornly refuses my half. I need you, is all he says. He has grown thinner over our journey, and I stay alert for signs of hunger, sickness, confusion, memory loss, and the wrong shape of the head. No brother would dare call a sister skinny, but I hear Deneb checking my belly and sides more than once when he thinks I'm not paying attention. He mutters to himself, "Okay, good, so far." I'm not so sure. I have never felt so weary in my life. How will I know if the hunger sickness strikes? What if I start leading my brother the wrong way? The urge to give up and go to sleep wraps around me like the tentacles of an octopus. There's nothing to do, but I keep going. I am too exhausted to even think about what we will find or not find. When we get home, as we approach the store, I look above and below the water for way markers. Every river that flows into the ocean makes a fish tail mark in the mud. Each one has its own shape, fainter for slow-moving rivers, deeper and longer for big rivers. The entrance into the Salish Sea has the biggest fish tail of them all. The sea shake and the giant waves have changed the shape of the fish tails, some a little and some a lot. I struggled to find the way markers I knew before. I thought they would always be the same. I am surprised when Deneb says, "Hey, isn't that little island off Land's End?" It is. The island is smaller than it was before. A section of cliff has fallen into the water. A flutter of fear zings through my body. I lift my head. Everywhere I turn, things look different. The shore is lined with broken trees, their bark and branches stripped away. The land boat path is empty. A thin rime of boat blood floats on the surface, making my eyes sting. And it is quiet, so quiet I can see farther than I ever have before. A thing carrier has its nose mired deep in the sea bottom. It's biting end in the air. I can spot the circle-shaped teeth, not spinning but holding still. Rectangles from the top of the thing carrier are strewn across the mud in a jumble. Sometimes a thing carrier loses a few rectangles in a storm, but I have never seen so many of them break free. Already algae are claiming them. Crabs scuttle across the tops, and spiny urchins will soon follow. The tiny fishes that burrow in sand are swirling around, looking for a new place to dig. Good luck, little sand hiders, I call. They feed our beloved salmon, and they are the first hopeful sign I have seen. I can actually hear a little shush of a sound when one of the sand hiders find a gravelly spot like they like and dive in tail first. I have not seen it many times, but never heard of it. I cannot resist, so I follow the tiny fish away from the heap of rectangles. Swoosh, swoosh. I can hear the faint whisper of each one. Incredible. Deneb follows me faithfully. Are we going to eat those little guys now, he says, trying hard and failing completely to be enthusiastic. Of course not, I shake off my embarrassment. Don't be silly. I clickstream in a big circle. It is uncanny. There are no net boats, no watcher boats. Even the tiny growlers that fly through the air, leaving a cloud stripe behind them, are gone. What happened to the humans? Deneb asks. Did they disappear? Maybe they are frightened. Like the sand hiders, I say, maybe they are hiding too. I think long and hard about our salmon. It is still the season when the mountains call them home. Will they come this year? If the net boats stay ashore, there will be more salmon for us. Maybe we will find the gathering place, I decide. If any of our kinship are still in the sea, they will look for us there. I head for the coldward side of the passage. The pull gives way to the push, and we swim more quickly. Deneb is moving faster too. In spite of his wound, which must be still hurting terribly, his skin has hardened and he can push the flukes with more strength. But he needs food to get well. Well, I have a scar, he says, rolling to the side to give me a look. I can tell. Will it be bigger than Uncle Wriggles? You will have a curved scar, Uncle Wriggles is straight, I say. I cannot believe he is proud of it. I feel awful every time I see that scar. I did not protect him. He could have sunk out there in the wild, so far from home. It is quiet, long, I say firmly and deep. Nobody else in our whole kinship has a shark scar like yours, Deneb hums as he swims, no doubt thinking about the story of his adventure and how to tell it for dramatic effect. I have no such lightness of our heart. There is no way to know if our family survived. Still, Mother could be here. Our whole family could. They could not be around the next point, beyond the next island, searching just like me. When the gathering place comes into range, I shout, I am Vega, daughter of Arctur, great daughter of Cyria, of the Wormwood salmon eaters. My voice rings out in the quiet sea. Deneb, brother of Vega, son of Arctur, great son of Cyria, of the mighty kinship of salmon eaters. His little fin breaks the surface of the sea, and he breathes out the tallest cha he can make, like the uncles always do, to announce our presence. I could cry. He is so little, and he is trying so hard. I lift my chin and swing it from side to side to catch the smallest sounds of the water. We are over the shallows now, and the familiar nip and nibble of crabs and urchins rise from the rocks below. A far-off moan comes from a scooper whale. I look above the water and hear seals grunting to each other on the shore. I slide back underwater, still listening. Finally, and faintly, I hear, "I am Aquila, daughter of Nova, great daughter of Syria," and then me. I am me.